Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We are so excited to be here. You have the friends and family and audience of Ruby Lane right now.
Wonderful.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and where we are standing, which is just looks absolutely wonderful.
Right now, you're standing in the gift shop of the Legacy Doll Museum, and we've taken a lot of dolls. We've de-acquisitioned hundreds, basically, of dolls from the museum and brought them here for the regional convention because we knew we were going to get a lot of visitors. So this is the gift shop. And then we also created a display for the conference. And it is wardrobes of 2 centuries of dolls. So we have about 11 dolls and their wardrobes.
Which we are so thrilled and excited to see. Now, Dale, for everyone that's out there, your name is Dale, and you own this museum.
And yes, I do.
And how long have you been working on this?
9 years we've been open.
Alberta just said, so cool, love it. I wish I was there. Well, we wish you were there too, Alberta. So we're so glad that you invited us in and that we can share this with our viewers. So can you tell us a little bit about how it's divided up and then give us a little tour?
Absolutely. This is the gift shop right here.
Okay.
In here is the doll museum itself. It houses about 600 dolls. And then, would you like me to show you the regional conference display?
We would love it.
Okay, we'll go in there next, okay?
Okay.
So, we will start, generally it's 200 years of dolls. However, we just recently purchased her and she's in the newer form. She is a
Wow.
Marie. Is she delightful?
She is just amazing.
She is an FG from about 1870, 1880 that has been embellished by Michael and David of the Carmel Doll Shop. Look at that hair. Michael did that and spent, I'm sure, many, many hours making her absolutely delightful.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh, she's a wonderful doll.
So she's your newest acquisition?
Yes, brand new. Walked in the door on Wednesday and it's Sunday.
Wow. So if you are just tuning in live, we are here with the museum owner Dale at the Legacy Doll Museum in Billings, Montana. And we are having a wonderful private tour for all of our viewers out there. We have hundreds of people tuning in live right now, and they are seeing what we are seeing. So what a treat and what an honor. And if you guys ever come to Billings, this is a must-see place. She is just beautiful.
Now I can show you, this is a Christian hacker house. This came in about 1875. The house was sent to us from New York, and it took them 5 hours to pack this poor house.
Wow.
I will show you the inside if you'd
Great.
like.
We would love that.
This house is, what makes this house so wonderful is that it is all original. The tile is original. The dolls aren't original to the house, but look at the tile. I put tea lights in there because it was electrified, but I wouldn't. You wouldn't. It started on fire, I'm afraid.
So, and because we have a wonderful selfie stick for our camera, we can actually take you inside this Christian hacker home. Now, Christian hacker homes, they're early, circa 1870, yeah.
Christian Hacker was a woodworker who received his training and after his apprenticeship went to Nuremberg, Germany, where he set up a factory, and this was one of the wonderful doll houses that he made.
Wow. Thank you, Dale. So
You
for all
bet.
that are just tuning in, we are looking at a Christian hacker house at the Legacy Doll Museum in Billings, Montana. And Dale set up a wonderful exhibit of dolls in their wardrobes, special for the UFDC conference that we just attended. And we said we were going to bring a surprise to you, and this is your big surprise. How wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Now, how we had originally done it was we were starting from the 1900s and going all the way back. So we will start with Daisy. Daisy was the sweet doll that was advertised through, she was a doll that you could get if you sold 3 subscriptions to the Ladies' Home Journal back in 1911. So from 1911 to 1912, 26 dolls were ordered. And it was the most productive, it was the most, fruitful.
26?
26,000.
Oh, 26,000.
Right. So Daisy was, this is, that's
That's
one
an
of the
advertisement.
advertising.
So if you guys just joined, we are here live with Dale, who is the owner of the Legacy Doll Museum in Billings, Montana. And if you guys have any questions for Dale, or you'd like to see anything close up, please just write it in the comments, and please share our live video as it's happening so that you can share this with your friends. What a treat. All right.
The next doll is very important locally. She is called the Moss Mansion doll because there was a very wealthy banker by the name of P.B. Moss in Billings, Montana. And he had 6 children, and this was one of the little girl's dolls. So I name her Melville, Virginia, because we don't know if she belonged to Melville Moss or Virginia Moss. She came from the caretaker of the Melville Moss before she died.
She was
just
received. Adorable. And tell us a little bit about her trousseau.
Yes, isn't this wonderful? She is all original. And this dress, if you can get this dress over here, was sewn by the Moss seamstress, the lady who was employed by the Moss. The Moss Mansion is worth going to and attending to. The rest of the clothing was mostly handmade by just a phenomenal seamstress by the name of Joyce Keller.
Wow. So, how neat. We'll bring so you guys can see up there. She's a beautiful doll.
She's a lovely little doll. Now this one, this display I call the 4 Sisters, because my grandmother had 3 sisters that she loved dearly, and they came over from Sweden during the late 1800s, the early 1900s, when these dolls were made. This one is a Kestner 162. And Augusta was one of the sisters' names. And then we've got the Simon Halbig, 1159. And she was representative of Annie, one of Sadie's sisters, my grandmother's. And then all these clothes belong to this one. She is a Hooray Provost.
Wow.
And she and all of these clothes belong to her. She's pretty spoiled.
Susan Oswald Cross just said, "I just fainted." I'm about to faint too, but I'm not gonna, so I can show you guys some more of this collection.
The one behind, she represents my grandmother, because my grandmother Sadie was not a suffragist, which is kind of too bad, but she really loved her religion. She was a Jehovah's Witness, and she would take a wagon from Great Falls, Montana to Fort Benton to hand out watchtowers. So I always think she represents them. And the 4 ladies are up there in their elder years.
Oh, they're wonderful. The Provost Hooray.
Oh,
they're just so great.
She's
are
the best provost I have ever seen.
Yeah, they were just so progressive for the time. They still are.
Yeah, she really was an artist. Now going up about 40 or 50 years is Beatrice. Beatrice came from about the 1860s. She's extremely pale because they loved their ladies without sun.
Oh.
back in the 1860s.
They did.
So Beatrice is very pale, and her little friend, if you can see, is a little chameau. If you can
There
see
we
this
go.
poor little thing.
There she
is called, she's 8.5-inch French doll, and I call her Chloe. But all the clothes either belong to Chloe if they're small, or Beatrice's. And the trunk is from France, and it is marked.
Look at all that. Wonderful.
Yeah,
lucky
they're all
dolls.
princesses, that's for sure.
So for those who are just tuning in, we have a lot of people tuning in. We are here live with Dale, the owner of the Legacy Doll Museum in Billings, Montana, and we are having a private tour of her special exhibit.
This beautiful doll is a roamer, a China roamer. They call them first generations. They come about 1850, 1860. This little beauty, the love of my life, and all of her clothes.
Oh, wow.
And if you can look, I love these. These are little whites. They are collars and they're little shirts for good old Belle.
How did she get her name Belle?
I gave it to her. They're dolls that I look at and go, she reminds me of a Belle because she's beautiful. She's a beautiful French doll.
Belle of the Ball.
I have to show you this because this is a wonderful set of paper dolls from the period. And they have both the front and the back.
Dale, your collection is just absolutely incredible. What was your first doll? Do you remember?
You know, I had some composition dolls. I've been doing this 35 years. And I had some composition dolls. And I don't believe I've had them, but the first doll I had was called a sweetheart doll, and you could get them at the grocery store. And I got her, and she was all decked out, and she was in her pink dress, her nylon dress, and I was 4 years old, and I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. And I think that's when I became a doll collector, was when I was 4.
Oh,
So-
that's wonderful. Well, Belle and her trousseau are absolutely stunning. If you guys have any questions for Dale, please just shoot them in here. Otherwise, we're just going to keep enjoying and seeing this wonderful, wonderful collection. Oh, wow.
This beautiful doll, I call her Rose Percy's cousin. And Michael and David from the Carmel Doll Shop, who own Rose Percy, say that that's okay. She is from about the 1850s. These clothes just make me weep.
This is just, did you
She's just a
get this
princess.
all trousseau, or did you build it over the years?
No,
So
that's
she came
how
with
I got
all.
her. This
Wow.
is how she came. In that wonderful trunk, if you can see it.
Are those hats?
I know.
Oh. So Dale, your collection, you've obviously been working on for a long time. You are very accomplished in your collection. What's a tip that you can give maybe somebody that's watching this that is just starting out thinking, hey, you know what? I'd like to start a collection, but I can't start where Dale is. What do I do?
You know what I would do is I would buy one really nice doll a year and then have fun with it. Go to doll sales, pick up you know, clothing for the dolly, but don't settle for 50 Barbie dolls from the you know, the early 2000s. Don't go to garage sales and buy vinyl dolls. Really buy the best your budget can afford. If it's $500 a year, whatever it is, and buy the very best that you can find. Chinas are pretty reasonable right now. So you could buy a wonderful china and put together a wonderful trousseau.
That is such great advice, and that was actually going to be my next question is, what do you feel is a really good thing to buy right now? German characters seem to be a good time to buy, and China's as well.
Yes, German characters are a really good time because the German market has softened So so you can get a good German character doll and not pay a ton of money.
Exactly.
But dolls with trousseaus, if you can develop your own, that's the best. This doll, I call her my non-traditional beauty because she is not what you would call beautiful in the traditional sense. But she's a linen doll.
Oh, she's just amazing.
And she came with this. She has provenance. She came to the museum from California, and her owner talked about her and how important this doll was to her.
Wow.
Yeah, and her name, I wanted to name her Dolly after my great-grandmother, but she's Bessie.
Let's get behind so we can show just a little. So feel free to share our video, ask questions, love. We are standing here in a wonderful special exhibit room at the Legacy Doll Museum, dolls and their trousseaus. And what a wonderful variety of dolls and their trousseaus. We've seen a little bit of everything. Before we leave this room, may we take one more peek at this?
Can I tell you about one more that she keeps getting kind of ignored, and she is probably the rarest, most unusual. She is called Psyche. She was published in France in about the 1840s. She is a paper doll, and these are some of the beautiful back and front, if you want to do the back too.
Absolutely wonderful. I can see how you would.
She is 180. Yeah, she's about
180 years old.
Close to 180 years old.
Wow. Yes, and let's
She's
see the back.
Sweetest. Yes, and then this is the first time paper dolls were from the front and the back, so that young girls could get an idea of how a dress would look from the front and the back. Psyche was basically made for what we call tweens, about 11 to 13 years old, so that they can give it to their seamstresses to make them clothes.
Could you imagine a tween wearing something like this today? We wish. Oh, just so cool. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
You bet. You bet.
And then we have the wonderful Marie Antoinette that's just out of this world. It doesn't get more opulent and over the top than this, which is why we love her. So we are live with Dale at the Legacy Doll Museum. Thank you for giving us this wonderful private tour.
You bet.
We have some, so this is the gift shop.
This is the gift shop.
And you are a longtime collector and lover of the museum.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And then in here,
that is the museum itself. If you want to just go around and look, or whatever you'd like to do.
I think our viewers would absolutely love to take a peek.
Absolutely, you can go around and walk with her.
We are going to take a peek.
If you have something that, yes.
We just don't even know where to start. Wow. So this is a collection that you have been working on. Where do you find your dolls?
Boy, I wish
Everywhere.
I could say that, yes, everywhere. But, you know, you can find them online. I have dealers that I deal with.
Sure.
That I pick up dolls from. Lately, I've been really enjoying old dolls that are French.
Is there a kind of doll out there that you think is maybe a little underappreciated?
Chinas. Mm-hmm. And I think Chinas are a really good investment.
Yeah.
I think in fact.
Yeah, if you would like to give us a couple, just
show you
some of your highlights. everything is a highlight here, but if you have a couple things that are absolutely must-sees that we could learn about, that would be wonderful.
You know what? Let's do her. She is a German. She is a COD 1469. She was probably well, must have been made about the 1910s, early 1900s, and her clothing is so well made that this dress, if you can show the purple dress is weighted. So it actually has beads around it so that when she walks, the dress will flow.
Wow.
And
She's got such a beautiful face.
I know, just wonderful. She has two sisters. I call her Violet. I named her after my mother because that was kind of my mother's time frame. And she has two sisters that were, I believe, at the UFDC convention this year. There were two of them. And they always say, and then there's Violet at the Legacy Doll Museum.
I love it. Some wonderful French bébés in here.
And we've got Germans. We've got the Albis wrestlers over here. And then we have a portrait. French, mostly Jameaux in here.
Thank you so much for bringing us in here. We are having the best time live at the Legacy Doll Museum. Dale, do you have a website?
I do. It is www.legacydollmuseum.com.
Perfect. Well, we have a lot of fans and collectors that like the frozen Charlottes.
Yes.
We also have a lot of people watching that are miniature collectors.
Oh, yes.
And we see a lot of miniature, wonderful miniature accessories. So if you are just tuning in live, feel free to ask a question. Please share our video. It is such a treat to be having this wonderful backstage, front stage tour of the Legacy Doll Museum with its owner, Dale.
She is, this lovely doll is a roamer. Belle is the China roamer, and then Mademoiselle Romer made Albisque as well, so she is the Albisque roamer.
Just beautiful. You have some wonderful German characters.
Yes.
You have a little bit of everything.
Yes, yes.
There's a
It's
Princess
pretty
Elizabeth.
eclectic. Yes.
Mein Liebling. Wonderful Mama Papa Steiner. There's a beautiful Hilda.
I have a section over here that's interesting as
Let's
well.
let's see it.
Okay. It is over here. This is Kessner Gibson girl and her wonderful clothing.
And did all these clothes come with her?
All the clothes came with her.
What a lucky girl.
And this little wonderful, back to the Chinas. This wonderful doll is attributed to a French maker called Jacob Petit. And these wonderful clothes came in her original hat band, if you can see it behind there. All the clothes were hers.
Wow.
And this one, beautiful china is a Biedermeier china.
So when we
And
say
again-
Biedermeier for our viewers, that refers to the time period?
And generally they had wigs.
Okay.
Compared to her.
Look at that wig. Let's get
Yes.
behind so
Oh,
we can kind
yes.
of
If you can see
show
that
her wig. Hopefully we
wig
can.
is
Look at
wig
that.
scene, yes.
It's a wonderful wig. All those braids. Okay, so Biedermeier refers to the hairstyle as well.
Yes.
Okay.
She's a sweet little doll too. And below is just a wonderful little boy's, little Lord Fauntleroy's outfit for a young boy. I can't imagine my grandson ever wearing that.
It would just be, you just want to squish him, he'd be so cute.
Yeah, but
Some
he'd be
frozen
mortified.
Charlies. This is fun. You have a lot of playful vignettes here, and that must be a lot of the fun of having a museum is doing really fun things like this, like with the bubbles and the bathroom setup. It's like a large dollhouse.
Yes.
They were everyday clothing. And then a couple ladies from up by Scobie. They come twice a week, I just went once. So,
You have your fall theme going on. That's great.
yeah, beautiful dolls.
So this is my wash on Monday, iron on Tuesday, mend on Wednesday scene. These are mostly little German dollies.
At the regional hand.
The thing about our viewers and our doll friends is we are just like you. We love everything. We love it all.
Well, there was competitions, huge sales then. There were people from all over then too. Remember that was a regional.
Do you have cloth dolls?
Yes, I have some cloth dolls.
And then I had a home trainer.
Oh, look at this Show and Hut Circus.
But, yeah, and then what they did is they took all the dolls from the competition.
That is so cool.
Oh, let me show you. This is worth seeing. Over here, I have some wonderful dolls here. You gotta show the brew.
Oh, of
'Cause
course.
she is like to die for. She
And a
is my
long
little-
face.
And a long face tryst, yeah.
Ladies, man, I'll tell you what. And they taught themselves how to do this.
She is a stunner.
But she had a solar.
It's wonderful that you have these little cards here that
That
really
talk
give
about
a
it,
good
yes.
introspect on what the doll is and why it's important.
And this little baby needs more information on her, but she came with all of these clothes too. And she's just a little French fashion, probably Jumeau, from the 1870s.
Oh, yeah, it was a blast.
They were very, very popular back then.
Wonderful.
But let me show you, this is what my husband made. This is my gift from my husband before he died. And it is a 3rd scale dollhouse.
I'm just going to move back so we can see that. So this is 3rd scale.
This is 3rd scale dollhouse. I don't recommend you doing it. The problem is finding 3rd scale versus standardized 1 inch to a foot, because dolls are all different. But if you were to look at it, this is the baby's room, this is the kitchen, the bedroom.
After I moved down here, I bought some on
That kitchen.
I know, I love that kitchen.
Wow.
But I have a ton of stoves, and I had to try almost every stove to see if I could get it, to scale. And then I finally, I found that. I had that one, and that one worked.
It's perfect.
But it's...
We have never seen a 3rd size scale house ever.
Yeah, there's a reason.
It's wonderful.
Never do it again. It's like crazy time.
Is this the
It's
master
very
bedroom?
difficult. This is the master bedroom.
And the dining
And
room.
this is the dining room with the wonderful
Bruce Smiler.
Bruce Smiler.
That. I'm trying to be as steady as I possibly can for everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. We are live at the Legacy Doll Museum in Billings, Montana with its owner Dale, and we are standing in front of a 3rd scale dollhouse. I have never seen something like this in my entire life, and what a treat it is to bring it to you guys today. We have hundreds of people watching us live, and I'm sure they are enjoying every single minute.
Over here, we have to have a den.
It's the man
my little-
cave.
Yeah, it's the perfect man's cave from the 1880s. The gentleman is a Blampois. I hope I'm not destroying For all you French-speaking people out there, I hope I don't destroy
That's
your
how I say it,
language.
too.
Blampois. He's here with all of his trophies and his elk chandelier and the clock and his hats and globe.
This is the coolest doll man cave we have ever seen in our lives. Look at that. You even have
All of his little
wine and...
Yes, he's a bit of a naughty boy. I wish you could see this. I have a wonderful flask with a spider on it that is to scale in his man
Just
cave with all of
amazing.
his stuff.
And then beneath the man cave,
You have to have a little ballroom because they always have that. And these are Vichy dancers from about the 1870s. They're having a good time. That is a third scale Dollhouse piano, third scale piano, made by a gentleman by the name of Orvin Fiore. And back to third scale and how difficult it is. He made that and he said he would never do it again.
it looks
And
like it
he
works.
didn't. It's a wonderful piece. It's a wonderful piece, but it was very difficult to make. I guess he had to, go out of state to find the keys and.
So if you're tuning in live right now, we are at the Legacy Doll Museum standing in front of a third scale dollhouse. Absolutely incredible, Dale. Thank you so much.
Oh, you bet. It was a joy to make and develop. And over here is just an eclectic view of hats and hooray and,
It's like every single one of your vignettes we could spend an hour in. Just
that
beautiful.
is fun. There's always chairs. You can always sit and just stare at things.
What are the
It's a
hours of your
glorious
museum?
We're going to close for the season, but you can notify me at www.legacy, dollmuseum.com, or I think I'm at Yahoo too. And I will, I can come if you want tours, if you
private
have
tour.
a bus tour.
Great. Well, we will definitely be putting your museum website in this post, which has already been shared all around the world. And we are
Oh, and these are artist dolls, but all of the clocks came from my husband's collection. He loved birdcage clocks. And most of them, they're definitely vintage or old, or
And
very
it's so
old.
wonderful that you and your husband could do that together.
Yes, it was a wonderful
Oh,
thing. I'm glad.
there's
We've been
a-
doing it for 9 years. We did it for 9 years. I've been open 9 years.
That's just amazing. There's so much love that goes into every single one of these vignettes. Each one of these pieces we're looking at is a treasure in itself. Look at these shoes. Oh, and Christmas.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love Christmas at Ruby Lane.
I love Christmas. I have a wonderful Christmas doll that I bring out at Christmas that I just fill with, vintage, toys and.
Now, for all of our vintage doll lovers, this is like heaven right here. We have some dy-dee babies. What else are we seeing in here?
We're seeing Dimples, and well, you are seeing a Hilda too.
And a Hilda.
And this is a Connie Lynn. But the dy-dee, if you can get in there, she's got clothes, she's got dy-dee accessories.
She's just got it all.
Yeah, my dolls are spoiled.
As they should be. They just look like little angels in here.
They're
Look
all
at all that. Share if you remember one of these dolls, or if you have one of these dolls, if you're lucky enough to have any of these dolls that we are seeing. They are truly, truly museum pieces, and that's why we are here. We are at the Legacy Doll Museum in Billings, Montana. Look at this.
This is a dollhouse. This is like the shed, and we put little delectable things in here. We've got a miniature table and chairs.
Oh, neat.
And little dollies up there. And a showing hut. I also, if you can get in there and see these are, I need to bring those out. Those are Civil War children's boots.
Wow. So much history here. That is a wonderful dollhouse. We just sponsored a miniature doll museum in Denver, Colorado.
Oh,
So we have a
really?
lot of people that really appreciate large and small scale dollhouse furniture and accessories.
That's about, what, 1920s, 1930s, a little grocery.
Look at this grocery store, everybody.
All the cute little dollies in it.
Wowee.
Now, most of the stuff we're looking at now is going to be more modern, although not totally. I have my skookum here.
That is a rare Skookum
Oh,
Indian.
he's a wonderful, he's a store model. They used to use him to show off the smaller models that
Right.
were for sale. And this, this is Occupy Japan. And this is the safari set from Show and Hut.
Look at that. I didn't even know they had a safari set.
Yes, isn't that unique?
So unique.
And good old Teddy Roosevelt is in there with his gun.
He has got to be so hard to find.
He is. He is hard.
Look at that. What a treat. This is truly a once in a lifetime opportunity that we have right here.
These are all the 1930s, 1940s composition, Kewpies.
Campbell's Kids, Buddy Lee,
Howdy Doody.
Howdy Doody. Yeah. Oh, there's Jan.
There's good old Jan. And then over here there's Jeanette. Those two little babies. And down here you can't miss
We cannot miss Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple, absolutely.
And we have a Sonia Henney
Sonia Henney.
and a couple bride dolls.
Mm-hmm. I hate doing this. You're doing such a good job. I hate backtracking. But over here, she is a Ruth Trefisen artist doll. But the doll that is just really unique in here is the little Puss in Boots from the French Puss in Boots from about the 1920s.
Look at that.
Isn't he wonderful?
Oh, he's wonderful, and he's made out of all paper mache.
I have no idea how he survived. Absolutely none.
What a cool
He should
doll.
be crushed.
Oh, he's so happy to be here.
Then, of course, we can't have a museum without
Jenny's.
and tiny Terry Lee's.
Look at that. Those caracal wig Jennies are so hard to find.
Oh, I love that one. She was made during the one in the green, over there, the light green. She was made during the year of my birth, 1952.
Wow.
And she's in really wonderful shape.
And is this the transitional earlier painted eye Jenny?
That is the
that's a Toddles.
Toddles. That is Toddles, but we do have a painted eye.
Oh,
Jenny
there we
in
go.
The
Yeah.
red.
Those are very hard to find too. In fact, all of these are very hard to find. That's why they're in a museum. Look at this, everybody. Feel free to comment, share, like, love. We are here at the Legacy Doll Museum bringing you a live feed in Billings, Montana. Terry Lee, boudoir dolls. We did a blog on boudoir dolls because we love them, because they were women that at the time they smoked, they drank, they partied, they just had a good time, and they kind of stood for freedom in the 1920s.
Oh, this is Terry Lee with all of her clothes. And this little doll right here, this Terry Lee, went on a cruise. This doll, I did not know that they had Terry Lee cruises, but someone was very spoiled.
Look
And
at
these
this.
are all of hers.
Oh, all of this, if you're tuning in right now, all of these clothes belong to this one Terry Lee doll in this case. If I was going to go on a cruise, I would be ecstatic. Clothes for days, weeks. Look at this.
Yeah, see, mine looks like it might have come out in the 1920s.
What a spoiled little girl.
I know. I've got to show you this one. Not that I'm into risque. I don't know if you can even see this, but this has got to be the first. This is the
Oh, it's a
first china
sexed.
that is sexed.
He's sexed.
And I showed it to Michael
So
and
rare.
David from the Carmel Doll Shop, and they've never seen a sexed china from about 1880, maybe 1860,
Wow.
maybe even possibly.
A lot of the early Japanese dolls and Chinese dolls are sexed, but we've never seen one, a frozen Charlotte that's
That's
sexed.
sexed.
Wow.
And
Charlie,
these
rather.
Then, yeah, he is a Charlie. We better not call him a Charlotte. And these are my Babyland rags. They're just sweet.
Those are just beautiful.
They're really in good shape.
We have Nancy Ann's storybooks.
Now, these are chinas that were very popular in the time, small chinas. Again, I think chinas are an excellent investment. I love them. They're old.
If you had $500 to $1,000, a China head or a German character is
Perfect.
Is a great way to go.
Wonderful. Absolutely.
Also wax dolls are
Oh, wax are awesome.
great buys, yes.
They are awesome. This little wonderful doll up here with the blue is called a Kathy Cruz. And again, my German is not perfect, but what makes her a wonderful doll is that Kathy Cruz, it appears, worked through Hitler's regime, because this doll came from Big Timber, Montana, and a doctor who went over for the cleanup crew after Germany surrendered bought that doll from Kathy Cruz's cottage industry and brought it back to his daughter in Big Timber.
What an amazing legacy.
It's a wonderful
She is a
doll.
survivor.
She is a true survivor.
True survivor.
And you know what? So was Kathy Cruz.
Kathy Cruz was a progressive, hardworking woman, and we just absolutely love her dolls. Wow.
Now there's a couple things here. This doll is probably the rarest in the museum. She's very small. She's about 4 inches. And what they found is Schmidt, who created all these wonderful tall dolls, and no one had any idea that they put in a patent for, now if I don't destroy it, a mignonette.
Mignonette.
Is it mignonette?
That's
I
how
did
we
that
say it.
right. Good.
Hi, everybody. We had to sign off because we lost our connection, but we are back at the Legacy Doll Museum for round 2. We had a couple more things that we just had to show everybody.
This is a wonderful blue granite stove.
Look at that.
It's
stove.
more like a salesman sample than a stove. It is all nickel plated. It is my dream stove. I have to brag on it.
That is a beautiful stove. I'd love to have that in my house too. You have a lot of toys here.
Lots
So
of
there's
toys.
really something for every collector.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a doll collector or even for the guys, there's a lot of manly things here. Show and hut if you're a toy collector. Of course, there's a lot of men that are doll collectors too.
Oh, absolutely. Right here is doll accessories, all kinds of doll accessories that that don't have homes with specific dolls.
Look at that.
They're just my loves. You can never have too many doll accessories.
No.
You can never be, well, I shouldn't say, they used to say you can never be too skinny. Well, you can't say that anymore. but you can never have too many dolls.
We agree. We just need more space, that's all. We can always make more space.
That's true.
And then here we have some all bis dolls.
All, yeah, small dolls. We have some Dollhouse dolls right here. A family of Dollhouse dolls that need to be dressed.
Just beautiful. So Dale, tell us again where we are, how people can contact you, visit you,
Okay.
everything about you. We are so
Okay.
thankful to be here.
We are at Billings, Montana. We are the Legacy Doll Museum. You can get a hold of us at legacydollmuseum.com. We have a website that you can reach us on as well. I'm hopefully going to do a blog on these dolls as well. And you can, and that's probably the best way to reach us, but we are at 3206 6th Avenue North in Billings, Montana. We will do group tours, so if you have a bus of ladies that would like to come over and have an afternoon here, you just call me, or better yet, just email me, and then we can set up a time.
You know, one of the wonderful things about having something special is sharing it with others, and you
Absolutely.
embody that to the fullest extent. So thank you so much for bringing us in. We have a lot of people who can't travel and wouldn't ever see something like this, so what a treat it is. We sure appreciate it.
Great. Well, that's why I did it, is because I love dolls and I wanted to share them.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.